All right, so I don't exactly know what I'm gonna call this, but bear with me. I have an idea. All these self help books, all these videos that you can watch on how to improve yourself. Um, Honestly, they all just kind of teach you things that you can kind of figure out yourself by just kind of observing the world around you and the state of that people are in. You know, like you ask yourself, how do I be successful? I want to be successful. I don't have good habits. I want to be productive in all my days. Mostly productive. Things like that. Things like that everybody says. They look up at the successful people. They're like, I want to be like them. And you can kind of figure out, you know, how to do these things, how to build habits, just by looking around. So, like when people say they want to be successful, it's like that doesn't even mean anything. Kind of success is kind of subjective. Productivity is one thing, but success as a whole, is sort of a whole different subset that you can't really define. Like if I were to look at like Elon Musk, he's a popping figure right now. If I were to ask him if he thought he was successful, or if I were to evaluate his success, I would evaluate like his raw accomplishments. But more importantly, I would evaluate like his own personal fulfillment, because you can accomplish great things and like actually affect the world, but at the end of the day, if it's not like self-fulfilling, um I don't think that's a I think the most important factor in success is like your own happiness, because then that's achievement. Doing great things is achievement, but success comes from a more like personal factor. um I guess is what I think about that. But all these people, man, they're just looking for an excuse to do productive things, to be productive. They're like, oh, I'm gonna spend 15 minutes. I'm gonna watch a YouTube video with 3 million views on how to be successful, how to be productive, how to build habits. When just you kind of just do it. That's literally the key. You kind of just do it. And if you're easily distracted, then that's just kind of like a priority thing. Like you prioritize like pleasure and like short form hits of dopamine, browsing on the internet over like things that are actually going to fulfill you. Which is another thing, a bunch of hedonists, man. The modern day is just full of a bunch of hedonists, and our culture is just capitalizing on that facet, dude. Hedonism, it's messed up. But if you have like an IQ over like I actually don't know what the average IQ is, but if you have an IQ over like 70, let's say, room temperature, you can easily like break out of the cycle. You just can. So let's say to sort of illustrate what my view on like success is. If I was 30 years old, let's say I graduate college and I get a job and I start working. All right, I hit the working field, and every day I go to work 5 days a week, work for like 8 hours, talk to the coworkers, regardless if I'm like enjoying it or not. Um, Regardless if I enjoy the work I do, I go work for 40 hours a week, and then I come home, and then the rest of the time of the week is spent like consuming media, playing video games, watching TV. I would consider myself a failure. Like not put any time, put most of my time, my free time, all of it practically, just consuming media. I mean, there's nothing wrong with entertainment, and I also assume that in this example, I'm also doing like my daily chores, and I'm being responsible to an extent. Like I'm getting my daily chores done, but all the other time, I work a job and then I just consume media like that. That's such I would hate that. That's not that would be I would be a failure. I would be a failure, to put it bluntly. And I think the people who live like that are failures. To be quite blunt about it. You know, like you don't even have to, like, people want to build habits and such. They want to do all these big things, but like realistically, you shouldn't aim to like change the world with your side hustles or what have you. I think just living a balanced and happy lifestyle. I think happiness, well, not even happiness, but like fulfillment is the most important thing. Like, I'm not expecting everybody to, you know, go to work 8 hours a day and then come home and then grind on whatever it is that they're doing, whatever like side hustle they have going on until they fall asleep. It's not what I'm asking for. I'm just trying to promote a lifestyle that has balance. You know, if you work your 8 hours and you go home and you spend like an hour or two playing video games, watching TV, whatever, that's fine. But if you're also doing things like I don't know, reading, writing, what things that you enjoy doing. It can even be like going on a walk. It doesn't have to be crazy as long as you're just not, as long as you're doing that something that benefits you in the future, like even working out, dude. Like it's stupid how easy it is, how easily accessible like content is. Like it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And that is the true test to who the failures, I guess, in life are going to be and who the successful people are, Um, I, I think you should have just a natural drive to. I mean, okay, I don't know everybody's perspective or view of the world, but I just think you kind of need to have a natural drive to do things because sitting on YouTube watching how to be successful tutorials, how to be productive, how to build habits, watching those kind of tutorials, it's not going to actually do anything. You can learn, I guess you can learn things from watching those videos, but you can learn those same things just by existing and like paying attention. Like it's all the self-help. I've already talked about this. It's stupid. Self-help genre is stupid because you can just figure it out on your own. You literally can. It's literally not rocket science. But just like a drive, dude, just like having a project or like having like some sort of long-term goal to focus on, even if you're not the most consistent at working towards that goal, dude, something like that. You should literally just have that. And, maybe not everybody's in a position to where they can do that. But even like if they were, most people who are in that position just don't waste their potential, dude. They just they watch TikTok and they watch Instagram Reels and they watch YouTube and, to an extent, I suffer from the same fate. Well, not fate, but same like habits. But I don't know, man. Like it's just people are looking for answers, and it's just obvious. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but success is subjective. Just like live a balanced life, dude. Those are some tips, I guess. Those are my thoughts. Type shit.